Bonie, obviously an award-winning photojournalist. Where did the story all begin?
27 years ago, I was born to a single mother who had 7 kids, 5 different fathers. So I grew up in a single family, a broken home, and here I am today.
How did you find yourself in media?
It happened by chance, I think. I was in Bible school. I was studying theology, and I was given a book by Mohammed Amin, the frontline cameraman. I read the book, I was inspired, and I saw what he did in 1984 in the Ethiopian famine. And I realized actually I can make a bigger difference through photography. I never met him, but that man has shaped my life. I wanted to use my work to influence social change, so Mohammed Amin's story was ideal for me.
How has your journey been since, the first day you got into a newsroom?
It's been challenging. My first payslip was 750 shillings. So for a whole month, they only used 3 of my photos. Every photo was being paid for 250 shillings. And the challenge then, I was using film camera. So I had to go to the dark room, come out, process your pictures, go and do the negatives, a contact sheet for the editor, you take the pictures to him, then select 2 or 3 photos. It was very, very challenging. And there were no digital cameras. There were very few. Maybe only the photo editor had a digital camera. So for me to go and shoot a whole day, print the pictures using my own money, then they don't publish anything was not very encouraging, but I had to keep at it, keep doing it.
So when did you make your first break?
The biggest break was in 2005. Those controversial Kenya Journalist of the Year awards. I was one of the winners. I won in 2 categories, most promising photographer and most promising young journalist. But the problem was they changed the list during the award ceremony. So I didn't go home with anything. They told me they were going to give me a certificate, which I didn't take. But at that particular time, the editors of the Standard realized that my work was good. And that was my biggest break. So when I was starting off in photography, I used to go to Eastlands to photograph daily life. And like for those guys who go to some prestigious schools like University of Nairobi, it is prestigious. And other schools, they don't have access to Eastlands, most of the places where I grew up. So those kind of pictures gave me a chance to come and tell editors, you know what, I can get you this stuff. And that has been my story.
So what makes the difference, in terms of being really a good photojournalist? You've talked of your terrain, your territory, so to speak. But I'm sure it does take a certain skill level as well to get the story out.
You need to be, number one, to adapt to a situation that you're versatile when you go to a situation. The other thing, you need to be able to communicate to people because you're going to find a mob killing someone and you want to document that. That is evidence against them. So you need to be able to blend in. You don't stand up like a sore thumb. So when you go to a place like Madare, you're not smelling of cologne. The soap that you used to shower, to wash your body with in the morning shouldn't smell. You're not wearing any jewelry. The way you speak, the way you handle yourself, the way you communicate is very, very important. Because I've seen people being mugged. During the post-election violence, Robert Gishuru was shot and some other guys were mugged. And I was right there actually. So they look at you and they're like, this guy doesn't belong here. I tell guys of a story, the wild dogs. Wild dogs hunt in a park. And every park is like a family. If another wild dog strays into this park, they kill it. You know why? It's still a wild dog, but the smell of this strange dog irritates them. Same thing about you. You go to the slums, and your smell, the way you talk, will irritate someone and say, "Ujama siwa hapa." For a good photographer, for a good journalist to be their journalist, you have to be able to blend in to any story that you're covering. You need to be able to even empathize that when you speak, people can say you're not pretending. For me to cover post-election violence and tell guys, let me take photos, and I don't come from their tribe, and they were killing someone from my tribe, I had to be able to empathize with them and be able to see, by the way, ni moja wetu, that there's nothing in my appearance or my demeanor betrays my political affiliation.
And obviously, along the way, you have been able to pick up a few awards. Could you talk to us about your very first award?
My very first international award was a photo for, it's my favorite photo, Camel Boy. I'd like to show you. I'll show you.
I've seen it actually on the website, yes.
The Camel Boy, it's one of my career favorite photo. It has no blood, no violence, just a nice serene photo. I won a World Health Organization something prize and about $500, which is a lot of money then. I won my very first big award, CNN Photojournalist of the Year in 2007. There was a Mungi crackdown in Mathare slums, and I happened to be there. And I was able to blend in. That's the other thing about blending in. I was able to blend in with the cops. Everyone else was chased away. They didn't chase me away. I'm one of you guys. Relax. So they actually thought I was a scene of a crime photographer. This is funny. Now I'm laughing. That particular day, I'd gone for a job interview in another company. So I was wearing a suit and a tie. So when I was told there was a crackdown in Mathare, I went wearing a suit and a tie. So they thought, scene of crime photographer. So, so I blended, but then they realized I was a photographer. I said, oh, relax guys, I'm not even taking your face, I'm taking your feet. So if you look at my Mungiki pictures, all of them are taken at ground level.
What would you regard as the most important story that you have told ever since you became a photojournalist?
Definitely post-election violence. It is one of the most horrifying, traumatic experience that I went through. But the results of me traveling with Picha Mtaani, the traveling exhibition across the country, that has been the greatest story that I've ever told. Not because the pictures were never published, most of them, but that I can use those photos to bring dialogue and reconciliation in my country. That I can use photography as a platform for reconciliation. That has been very humbling. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I ride a bike. I love climbing mountains. But at the same time, I thrive very well in chaos. In the chaos, I find myself. I'm so composed at that particular time. I'd rather be shooting a riot than speaking to you any day. Because I don't have to speak. All I need to do is just frame my photo, move on. No one tells me what to do. Yeah. So I'm calculating what's the next photo, anticipating a moment. It's an enjoyable experience that you can freeze all that chaos in one photo and say, this is what happened.
But honestly, despite you being an adrenaline junkie, you have found yourself in trouble a number of times.
Yeah. It comes with the territory.
I know it comes with the territory. You've been hit on your head.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about that?
That was scary. There was a riot in town. The Muslims were protesting against Al-Faizar arrest. So the demo was, I don't know if it was peaceful because I found when the violence was going on. The demonstrators were trying to get out. They met with the guys who work at the butchery, the city market traders, came out to confront the Muslims. So there was a stone exchange. So someone had been shot. And I saw the person had been shot, was bleeding somewhere. So they were trying to take the person across the road. And I was taking photos, and all of a sudden, I found myself on the ground. The stone was directed to whomsoever, and whomsoever happened to be bonie Mwangi. Okay, so you got there. Yeah, and I was in hospital for a week. I had a fractured skull and blood clots, so I had to stay in a closed room with no natural light, so that I don't know what the surgeons were saying about my head. But I'm back fit and good.
Would you say you've become sort of a renegade in the process? Because there's a time you've also heckled at the president.
Heckling the president, I did it as a citizen of this country, not even as a journalist, as a person who is concerned about the citizens of this country and the way our politics is being done. And our president is very lethargic. Our president his hands-off approach and his silence when bad things are happening to the people who voted for him is wrong. So I thought he has been unable to fight impunity. And so we had planned for that particular day for 5 months to protest, me and my friends, and they all chickened out. They all chickened out, which was rather sad. If it was successful...
And you stayed on?
Yeah, I stayed on because I had to keep... I'm a man of my word. If I give you my word, I keep it. I do as much as I can to keep my word, so I had to do it. And I did it as a voter, and as a father, and as a Kenyan citizen, not even as a journalist, because beyond me doing what I do, I still have rights as a citizen, and I think I can express myself, and I need that democratic space to express what I feel about my country. And Kibaki was not willing to listen. He called me a pumbavu.
Is this a message that you could also pass across to other young people?
Yes, I would love to do that. The young people of this country, we need to see there's more to life than Facebook and Twitter and clubbing and going to fight against Motudo laws. There's more to life than that.